dodged just in time. But this is some kind of story game, but it seems kind of cool. So, I'm gonna try it out. Impressive. Tell me about yourself. I don't know. What guy? What's your name? You Sasha? I like Sasha. My name is Sasha. I opened a shop with my husband. Ah, yes. I see now. So sorry about your husband. I wish you luck, Sasha. Don't forget the mirrors. Jeez. Good God. Toggle the menu. Click the violet dust on either side. Oh. Okay, well, what's in here? My inventory. Is all I have. Okay, well, I got. Keep it full. Okay, well, I've got. In case I find more fresh water, I'll drink out of this. I think that was a good idea. Okay. Um, dust, health. I don't know what that means. Pain in my hip creeps through the depths of my subconscious and shatters the remnants of my dream. Great. I slept on a pebble again. I sit up and find that pebble, temporarily saddened by chunking it near a tree. A little hungry. Should check my pack, open inventory, and drink some water to restore health. Careful though, some items may also increase toxicity. In my city, in my city. My food supply is getting low. I should head to. That's where I make a decision. But yes, we'll drink that. Oh yeah, it did. I should head to. Why do I have such low health all of a sudden? I don't know. Probably the fish. My boots begin to sink slightly into the increasingly moist earth as I near the riverbed. Foam and seaweed lap at the sand, a few foul-smelling and eyeless fish peering through the entangled masses. I find a sturdy length of branch and dig through my pack for the string and fishhook. Near the shoreline and lean up against a tree and cast the line. I yawn and a whiff of foul air draws my attention to one of the fish. With little else to entertain me, I found myself staring back at it. Its emptiness beckons me, and the depth of my loneliness is evident as I give in to an irresistible urge to respond to it. At least you don't have to deal with this anymore, fish. Fish. Are you mad? Fish. A fish? Am I talking to a fish? I sigh and shake my head, my own ridiculousness, leaning back against the tree once more. Hours go by with no bites. The shadows of the leaves slide across the sand, leaving no footprints, altering nothing. Only to do the same thing tomorrow. I turn back to the fish. Kinda like me, eh? I used to do this for fun, you know? Sit all day trying to catch something, only to toss it back, uncaring. Now I want to eat. Spoils the fun. Fish? I just now am sitting and close my eyes, enjoying how the light plays against my eyelids. Sighing, I lean back farther, and the world around me quiets. Oh, did I fall asleep? As I slid the final big hole into place, two hands snake around my side. What? Hey now, what if I wasn't done? I could have missed laying the corner. I turned to face him, keeping his arms tight around me. Oh, it's my husband. Pulling him closer, I drop a gentle kiss on his lips, breathing deeply of his favorite cologne. He pulls back and looks up at me. I have full confidence in your ability to apply a window. Is it decor? The sound? What's with you around? Too distracting. He laughs and peeks around my shoulder. Is it ready? It is. Would you like to do the honors? He bites his lip in glee as he pulls away and bounces over to the door. His hand delicately grabs the corner, a smile beaming on his face, but he turns back to me before flipping the sign around. You know, it is a little early. Walk over to him, unable to prevent my own spreading smile. Too early? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Can't have people thinking we're open this early every day. Yeah. I pull him back into my arms, closing my eyes as he gently tugs me at the bottom of my shirt and nips playfully at my neck. What can we do to pass the time? Whoa, tug. Oh, I got a fish. Where? Tug. This instant tugging, I realized the fish pool is moving. A fish! I'd fallen asleep. My heart sinks as I realize I hadn't taken time to set the mirrors up. I move to check the line and see my mirrors are set up in a semicircle at my feet. Did I set them up after all? I really need to be more careful, Mr. Fish. Fish. The line tugs again, and I set to reeling in my meal. Sweet, I got some fish. After a few more hours of walking, the light begins to dim. One thing I took for granted before the dusk came was how easy it was to travel. What is the dust? What is that? Oh, okay, I'm skipping. Sorry. Not only are gas stations frequently full of listless, but the dust itself moves too quickly. I drive right into a cloud of it without warning. Checking my map, I see I'm getting close to the outskirts of the next town and decide to make camp. Satisfied with the mirror setup, I sit down by the fire. Almost done. Boom, boom, boom. A listless? Out here? I snap up, tense, ready to run. A single deer bounds out of a nearby brush and flicks its tail, then flees. Ah, can you hear me? Who is that? Can you hear me now? Icy fingers of fear trickle down the base of my neck as I continue trying to spot who is toying with me. What do you want? The whisper comes again, followed by an eerie silence, as though the intruder is contemplating their next move. I tense, expecting an assailant. Instead, the sudden volume of the sound seems to split my head in two, and I feel myself lose consciousness at the influx of pain. Maybe now. Huddling in the corner of our modest shop, I can see them. I can see them through the glass, weaving to and fro, as if only held upright by the merest of threads dangling from the hazing sky. The violet light that had previously consumed their retinas had faded into a dull glow. For hours I've hovered inside my shop, waiting, watching. My husband and I had chosen the reflective decor in an attempt to catch the eyes of passerby to pursue our wares. I do not understand why, but it seems to confuse them. Almost immediately, on turning to the glass, the light in their eyes will fade, and they will either stand idly, as if waiting, or turn and join the ranks of the others. So like zombies. Sudden scream shattered my thoughts. As they turn away, I stand and walk to the glass. A lone woman runs, screaming through the street. No! As soon as I speak, one of the listless turns towards the window, and I press myself against the wall in terror. It weaves to and fro in decisive consternation, its ears knowing its heard sound, but the mirrored letters confusing it. After a few moments, turns back toward the woman. By the time I work up enough nerve to return to the glass and try to help, it's too late. But the listless aren't even the worst part. The dust. The dust is always worse. A throbbing ache in my head slowly breaks through my slumber, and I groan as I wake. As I sit up, I feel something slid off my arm, softly hit the ground. I look down and see my mirrors have been placed carefully around my sleeping form. I know I didn't do it this time. Rubbing my temples, I scan the nearby woods. Nothing moves or makes a sound. I pick up my mirrors and glance over my tent. The dinner had been roasting rests on my backpack. A single human bite mark is missing. For enough trade for sitting with the mirrors. Why attack me in the first place? Not much had been lost, so I pack up camp and head towards the next town. What am I doing? Oh, my health is a little low. Over to the next town. Well, I hope I'm okay for a bit. As I make my way through the field, I reach out and let the tips of the tall grass brush against my fingertips, enjoying the way the wind sends waves of altered shades across the landscape. Is is this better? I jump and spin full circle. But in the middle of this meadow, there really is nowhere to hide and nobody in sight. Am I losing my mind? Oh, good. It is better. My eyes widen. I try once more to find the individual speaking. There's nothing short of brush and empty strawberry bushes. How are you doing that? I I think it's called telepathy. I reach up and feel my forehead, wondering if I have a fever. You aren't sick. I don't think, anyway. My voice is right. I don't feel warm at all. But would I to myself? A little, yeah. I freeze a moment, realizing they must be reading my thoughts. This is so amazing. Uh, I thought I was alone. I'm so scared. I officially need to find someone to talk to. I'm hearing voices now. No, no, you aren't. Well, okay, you are, but please, I need your help. As I move my palm to my forehead once more, just trying to comprehend what is happening, an ethereal bell-like melody floats to my ears. The dust. In a panic, I rip open my backpack and dump the mirrors on the ground. Once they are arranged around my sitting form, I swallow and watch the gaps in the grass. It creeps in from the base of the grass's form, around the crevices of every leaf, twig, and blade of grass. Whoa, oh shit. That's the dust. I watch as it engulfs my view. With nothing to do but wait, my mind begins to wander. Another backtrack. Moments after I back away from that scream, the listless turn as a hole and stand in the open street. Curiosity overcomes my terror enough that I peek through the letters to watch. At first, my only thought is how beautiful it is. Living glitter and light. His fingers stretch across the pavement, feeling along building walls. It creeps to the waiting listless, who do not move as it grasps their ankles and tickles up their legs. I frown as it thickens around them, obscuring my ability to see. Mere moments later, as if blown by incoming storm, the dust retracts back. As I stare at the now empty street, my first thought was the listless had been swept up with it. Then I noticed their clothes. Dozens of sets of clothing littered the streets where they had stood, and they had never uttered a sound, never moved from their spot. They simply stood there while I had eaten them. Deadly but short-lived, I watched as the fingers of dust feel along the edges of the mirrors before retreating. Not wanting to waste any more daylight, I gather up the mirrors and continue walking toward the edge of the next town. Can we talk now? Oh no. Thought I was done with this. Please, I need your help, urgently. I'm running out of food. Food? I can't get out. I'm trapped. Frog? Are you there? Can you still hear me? I can. Okay. Let's pretend for a moment this is real. How are you talking to me? I'm not sure. The dust. I did something different to me. I ate too much of it, maybe. You ate it? I take a deep breath, fighting the urge to ignore the voice and pretend this isn't happening. You ate the dust? Trapped? Then where? How? There was ice around me. So, north of you? You can tell me where I am. I can tell you where you aren't cold, and I am. I suppose that is enough. How am I supposed to help you? Come find me. Please, I'm also out of food. Can't talk much more right now. It's hard. Tired. Please come. Stand for a few more minutes in the sudden silence, contemplating on what the mysterious voice had said. North? But how far? And yet, another person? I had thought I was the only person left alive out here. Could I really pass it up? I could pull out my map and look over it carefully. Anywhere with enough ice could be constantly cold. Would it be very far? I may as well head in that direction for now. I put my map away and continue to trek down toward town. Once I arrive, I scan the buildings for listless. Not seeing any. I look at the signage and set sights on the grocery store right at the edge. More likely to have listless, but also more likely to have edible food. Not daring to venture further into town anyway, I decide to try there. Cautiously approaching the shattered window of the faded brick building, I peer in and see over strewn about inside. Not wanting to remain in the open any longer than necessary, I carefully stepped over the windowsill. My foot crunches on broken shards of glass, and I wince at the sound. After a few more crunching steps, my foot finds clear tile floor. Most of the displays have been destroyed. I began to lose heart as I scan the handful of nearby aisles. Finally, my eyes fall on a display with a few items remaining. I only have room for 2 in my bag, so I must choose wisely. Probably that. Choose the knife. Yes. And the beans. The beans. Yes. So the 2 items into my bag and zip it back up. Tink, cradle, clank. I spin around and crouch, turning towards the sound. I shuffle footsteps towards the other side of me and tells me what I fear. Listless. I crawl along the aisle and peek around the corner. There, 3 of them, standing there, menacingly, facing a small pile of blankets in the corner. Or so I think until the top blanket shifts and raises, revealing pink glitter shoes and a tiny, terrified face. It's a little girl! Ah! Oh, no, she doesn't scream. She's quiet, I guess. She spots me and her eyes fill up with tears. Oh no, she's crying. Before I can react, she races off to my left. The listless eyes light up in a mass at the sound and turn towards to where she ran. Oh, call out or don't call out? Hey, come get me, Dinglebobs! Hey! The listless turn as one, their eyes focusing on me with renewed intensity. I gotta help. It's a fucking kid. I spin and race back down the aisle, launching myself over the window ledge. Behind me, they clamber over the edge, one of them getting stuck on the shard of glass, yet still trying to continue. Obvious to his life essence running down to the outer brick wall. No time, no time. I race full circle around the building and jump back through the window. The impaled listless, now twitching, his last as I pass. Little girl? Little girl, we don't have time. Where are you? Her tiny form peeks around the corner of an aisle at me, her eyes barely visible in the shadow of her blanket. Silence. I bend down, hand held out, beckoning her as gently as I dare. You are smart to be wary of strangers, but please, I want to save you from those things. We need to run. Now. She hesitates for a moment more, but sound on the other side of the building spurs her to me. I pull her into my arms and quickly make my way back to the window. I freeze as I see the 2 remaining listless standing right outside the window, gnawing their teeth in our direction, but shaking their heads in confusion. It occurs to me that the tiny mirrors on her blanket are confusing them. Oh, well, that's very convenient. I shift so that it obscures my head from their line of sight, and they calm. Now, unable to see them, I listen as I take a few steps, but they appear to have gone dormant. A shaky breath escapes my lungs as I creep over the glass. Each crunching footstep leads to more gnashing teeth, and I have to wait between steps for them to still. This awkwardness of the window causes me to slip, and the girl cries out, squeezing tighter around my neck. One of those shoes bumped into my leg, but before they can react, I shift her blanket out of my line of vision and run. I run, clinging to the girl until I am panting with breath and I have to set her down. She grabs my hand and we disappear into the edge of the forest, the listless stopping near the edge. Okay, I think we lost him. The little girl stands a few feet away, silently watching me. It's okay. I'll stand over here. Are you hurt? Her chin moves back and forth as she shakes her head no. Oh, no. That's right. I asked if she was hurt. I was like, are you okay? No, I'm dying. Going to set up a place for us to rest. She waits while I make camp, keeping her blanket clung around her head. That's good. It's good your blanket has mirrors. Uh, I guess name would be useful. Can you tell me your name? Okay, that's fine. Still probably pretty shook. She stands for a few moments longer, then walks to my side and lays down. Her blanket never leaves her tight fisted grip, and soon her form stills with slumber. I sit up, shattered pots and random objects strewn about the floor. What? What was that? Getting to my feet, I call out to my husband, heading towards the greenhouse at the back. Other side, I can hear people screaming. With relief, I see him standing just inside, but his back is to me. Hey, are you hurt? What's going on? I place my hand on his shoulder, and he shifts towards me, but my touch shifts towards my touch, but still doesn't fully look at me. Are you okay? Did you fall? No, but my head, it just it hurts so bad. Why don't you come inside and sit down? I'll give you some medicine and we can figure out what happened. That, that, he shudders. His shoulders shudder, sorry, underneath my palm, and he violently bends over, clutching at his head. His head whips at me, and I stumble back in reflex, shock, and horror. A bright glow, no, emanates from his retinas of his emotionless face as he starts to walk towards me. Thump, thump, thump. I woke to a soft tapping. Oh, sorry. It startled me into sitting up. My eyes follow the sound where the little girl sits to a short distance away, kicking her. Oh, okay, it was just her. She is smiling down at her cupped hands. Oh, what have you got there? Your little buggy? She opens her palms and there's a small amount of blueberries. What? Praise her for bringing food. You did it. How did you know how to find them? Her smile widens as she opens her mouth, ready to speak, but her smile falters as she looks back at the berries. And when that, then, come on over, we'll share them. No, you don't want to? Oh, she hops over and walks over to me. I take one of the berries and eat it slowly, allowing her to eat the rest. Oh, that's nice. She is a danger to you? I barely manage to keep my face from betraying the sudden intrusion into my thoughts. She just brought me berries. You know what I mean. How will you keep her safe? She'll slow you down, eat all your food. Are you really trying to convince me to abandon a little girl while asking me to help you? I That's what I thought. I take a deep breath and turn toward the little girl. All right, are you ready to go? She hops off the stump and walks and stands a few feet away from me. I start walking and she follows timidly behind, realizing she probably has been as hungry for conversation as I have, but is likely too afraid. I decide to attempt to break the ice. I know it's hard to travel with a stranger. Maybe we could say our names and it would help. Yeah, that's what I thought at first. I'm Sasha. You are Gina. Continue walking and consider asking her something else. I guess her blanket. Blanket's pretty cool. That blanket is beautiful. I know. Just keep me from laughing at the blanket statement. Have you had it a long time? My nana made it for me. What? I got it yesterday. Yesterday. Oh, you poor thing, you no sense of time. Is it also a hat? No. My head hurts if I take it off. Oh, I see. Your head hurts. The music makes my head hurt. Music? Meaning the dust? Are the tiny mirrors on it keeping it at bay? Probably a good idea to keep them there then. Why don't you have a blanket? I guess I don't need one. Oh, okay. I'll keep mine then. That's a good plan. That's fine. Deciding I had questioned her enough for now, I open my map and see where we need to head next. That evening, as Gina sits curled up at my feet, I set up the mirrors and wonder for the first time what the future may hold. After the dust had taken my husband many days, had narrowed to nothing more than the next step in the dirt, the next marker on my fading map. I glanced down at Gina and promised myself I'll at least keep her safe. Sorry I got angry. I jump and bump Gina, causing her to stir. I almost woke her up. Are you still coming? I don't really have anywhere else in mind, but I'm worried about Gina. Maybe she could stay somewhere. You mean a city? It's insane. There are listless everywhere. Well, she survived before, didn't she? Yeah, it was 'cause she had a blanket. Yes, but I am hardly going to just leave her somewhere. Maybe some other survivors. But to risk a city? Can she really keep surviving in the wild like this? You barely know how to keep yourself alive. I've managed. I am right. I grumble and rub my temples. I'll think on it. For now, I need to sleep. As soon as I finish speaking, the bells of the dust sound and the recheck of my mirrors. It sweeps in and harmlessly floats around us. It wisps puffs, puffing the forest into obscurity. Scanning the tree line, my eyes widen as they fall on a young woman sitting on a log a few feet away. Oh, what the hell? Oh, mirrored disc and reflective tape. What? Shimmer on her pants and jacket, and her curls are covered by a hat full of mirrored surfaces tied together with multicolored cords. Fascinated by her calm demeanor, I watch as most of the dust curls around her ankles, bouncing harmlessly away. I bite one of my knuckles as one tendril finds its way along a seam and makes its way to her shoulders. But it, too, is ultimately stopped by the crossing section of reflective tape. Throughout it all, she sits nonchalantly, brushing away all wandering tendrils of dust, but never taking her eyes off my face. As the dust fully recedes, she glances casually back at it, then turns to me and smiles. That was nerve-wracking. Oh, my health is low. Yikes. Small can of beans, huh? You really okay? Smiles and nods. Nobody likes talking. The sound of my voice, Gina stirs and wakes up, rubbing her eyes. She tenses and grabs my leg, on seeing the new arrival who waves and smiles at her. And Gina might be safer with her. Who are you? You're going to tell me? Points at her throat. Makes a series of motions with her hands. Oh, I don't know sign language, I'm sorry. Shrugs and smiles. I look around at the ground around us, but I don't see anything good to write with either. There's too packed and full of grasses to be easily done. I look up at the woman, not sure what to refer to her as. Taps a finger on her hip, then smiles. Waves her reflective gear around. How about mirror for now then? Laughs, shrugs, then nods. Alright then. Nice to meet you, Mirror. You understand everything I'm saying? She shrugs and waddles her hand back and forth. I see, I see. Were you following us? Embarrassed nod. Oh, how long? Mimics using a fishing rod. Since I last went fishing? The mirrors then, that was you? Nods. Oh, okay. Laughs and points at me, then puts her hand by her mouth. Makes her hand talk, and then makes a swebbing motion. You saw me talking to the fish? Oh, that's crazy. Oh, great. I reach up and gesture at her in symbol. I was very smart with the reflective tape. Mouse, thank you. Moves one palm to her mouth and down. Points at me, walks her finger across her palm. Shrugs and tilts her head. I'm heading north. Shrugs, tilts head. I think someone may need my help. Taps her chest, then points at us. You want us to come with you? Nods. Alright, sure. If you've survived this long, I'm sure you'll be a great help. You coming with us? Yes. Why is she not talking? Is it a game? Some people can't. Gina, that's all. Fuck you, Gina. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, Gina. She has mirrors on her head, too. She does. I like her. Gina stands and walks over to the mirror. To the mirror. Do the bells make your helmet hurt, too? Mirrors glances over at me with unease. Are you coming with us? Nods. Mirror holds out her hand and Gina takes it. Yay! The pair of them turn to me and I pack up our things and lead on. I believe there's a person in the next town. I stop, barely noticing Gina bounce off the back of my legs. How could you know that? I tried talking to other people before. You were the first person I worked with. Most people would pass out every time, or I could no longer sense them. Mirror taps me on the shoulder and I turn. At her puzzled expression, I let out a breath of fresh air and rubbed the bridge of my nose. Someone talks to me. Not hearing voices. At least I don't think so. They claim that there is someone in the next city. As much as I hate to admit it, it'd be a relief to prove that it isn't just in my own mind. I think we should go. Mira thinks for a moment, then mimics a book with her hands and traces a path on one hand. I grab my map out of my pack and hand it to her. She rubs at her bottom lip and then points at a river and traces her finger up to the right. It's here? I jab at the paper before realizing my error. I wait for her to look back at me. The city's here? Nods. I think we should visit the river first. Motion's eating. Yeah, good idea. Mira smiles and bends over to take Gina's hand again, and we start to walk. As we reach the river, Gina lets out a squeal and runs to the water. She stops at its edge and kicks at some foam. Points to her chest, her eye, then Gina. Thanks. I'll find sticks for fishing rods and see if I can find anything else around. When I return, I hand Mira a fishing pole while Gina wanders happily a short distance downriver. I laugh as she starts digging a minnow trap. I lean over and tap Mira's shoulder. Worth a try, but I doubt she'll catch any. Points to Gina, hugs herself, pretends to wipe away a tear. I agree. She is tough for a little girl. Mira looks around and finds a small twig, then flattens the dirt. Your story. After she writes, I make sure she can see my face before I reply. I used to own a shop with my husband. Sold what? Small items. Homemade toys, a few clothing choices, mirrors. Nods and thinks for a moment. Okay. Shakes her head and smooths out the dirt. I gently touch her arm and she looks up at me. Kids? Embarrassed nod. No, never had any. Sighs with relief. I understand the hesitation in asking. Should I ask her anything? Let me get her actual name. Oh, there we go. Rivia. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Why'd she join us? Points to Gina. You wanted to help protect her. Shakes her head, wobbles a hand, points at me. Can't, too bad. You mean I can't be too bad if I save the little girl? Nods. Okay, that's good. I laugh and help her pat the dirt flat again. Alright. Let Gina play a little longer and I set up the mirrors around our camp. Riva, I'm just gonna call her Riva, joined inside the makeshift tent with us, even though her clothing would likely keep her safe otherwise. I put out the fire and we settled into sleep. In the greenhouse, a makeshift circle of mirrors surrounded my husband, who stands by an unused chair. I have to leave. At the sound of my voice, he raises his head, the violet light flickering brighter, but the mirrors preventing him from making a connection. He turns full circle, oblivious to the half-eaten food being trampled beneath his feet. I need to find help, if I can. Frog? I don't know if any part of you can hear me. I've left some fresh water and food right there. There is more in the kitchen. Frog. Frog. Okay then. I grip my backpack full of supplies and turn towards the door. We finally arrive at the edge of the city and scan to see where the Liberty, but Ravina breaks out in a grin and pats my arm. pointing in the direction of a library. I'm not sure what that would have for us. There are likely aren't many reflective surfaces either. Why go there? Holds hand up, pleading. Sure, we'll go to the library. Okay, we could try. Maybe they have a kitchen in the back. Mouths and signs, thank you. We slowly make our way back to the entrance of the building, keeping to the shadows as often as we can. Gina clings to Ravina's leg as we finally arrive to the back of the door. I try the door handle and finding it unlocked. Turn it and cautiously head inside. Oh, it's nice in here. Finding an empty kitchen, I relax and wave Gina and Ravina in. Gina walks over to the cupboards and starts searching for food. I glance at Ravina and she shrugs, seeing no reason not to let her. Hey, make sure it is safe. You can go find what you want, okay? Nods. I enter the library, peering around each aisle and listening for any movement. I find the front door boarded shut and nobody inside. As I turn back to the kitchen to let Ravina know it's safe, I run my hands over some of the books, reminiscing. I can practically hear my husband's teasing laughter as he reads a few lines of my romance novel from over my shoulder. My eyes filled with tears, and I snap my hand back to my side, lest the books tense further memories. I wave to Ravina to go ahead and look. She smiles and heads inside, and I set to helping Gina. A short time later, Ravina returns with a book clutched to her chest, her eyes shining with happiness. All right, so what is it? She hands it to me and opens it to take a look. A book on sign language? Ah, this is great. That's a great idea. I can read it when we camp. We'll have to decide what I should learn first. Nods, waves to the door. Yeah, we can get out of here. Gained a library book. Nice. The three of us exit to the alley. Outside the building, I hear shuffling feet and opening doors. One glance toward the tree line shows that we are blocked in by approaching shadows and flickering violet orbs. Uh-oh. In one fluid motion, I turn to Ravina and to the right, and I grab up Gina, my throat closing in silent terror. I know the gesture will be understood. Run! We race through the streets, and I know I won't be able to keep this place up long with Gina in my arms. We need the safest building, and fast. I quickly glance at what it is nearby, and I chose the apartments. We race through the apartments and pull open the outer door. Once inside, I realize our error. The entry box still glowing in the dim light with a red light. I panic and begin to bash the usual room. As the listless outside get closer, not a single tenant replies. Oh, fuck. Well, that was the wrong choice. Made it all the way to chapter 5. If you want to try and make it further than that, go ahead and give it a try. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, everybody. Peace.